Howdy, my name's Anna. Thank you so much for being here. Today I wanted to do a little tutorial and talk about the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette that came out a little bit ago. I think it's really pretty, and if you want to know kind of more of my thoughts about this, then just keep watching. All right, so let's talk about the palette. It's got really pretty outer packaging, and I want to read what it says on the back because I think this is very sweet and I like it. So get ready to embrace the self-loving, beauty-enriching, harmonizing energy of the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz Eyeshadow Palette, featuring 18 shades in 5 innovative and precious textures in the most decadent array of rosy tints and earthy tones, with 8 velvety, soft, and intense mattes, 3 high shine buttery metallics, 3 pearly soft shine metallics eyeshadows, 3 quartz-inspired cream marbles, and 1 crushed stone pearly gloss hybrid. Be you, do you, for you. So what I liked... My eyes are getting older. What I liked about the idea behind this palette is she was doing kind of a self-love type of vibe with this, and I think that's really important. I think it is really important to be you and love who you are, not for anybody else, but just for the pure joy of you and living your life and being who you feel good being. For me, that's dressing up in wigs and makeup because I love the way that it feels. So I did like that message on here. I suppose without further ado, let's just get into the eye look, and then I'll give you more of my thoughts about the palette after that. I do have my ABH eye primer on. I did not put powder over that today, partially because I'm going to take the shade Cherished, and I'm going to swipe that with a Rephr 16 just all over my lid, just a whole, just the whole enchilada. We're just gonna get that all over my entire lid. Well, that was easy. Huh. All right, next I'm going to take my Rephr 13 and go into the shade Serenity over here. And I'm going to focus that on the outer, somewhat high in my crease, and also down to my lid, just on that outer third. All right, and then going into the shade Happiness, I'm going to focus that on the inner third. So I'm sort of doing the more pink tones on the inside and the more purple tones on the outside. I don't know, they actually look somewhat similar. I suppose the shade Happiness is a little warmer, all things considered. I'm going to take the shade Mantra, the deepest shade in the palette, with that same, no, not with that same brush. I'm going to use a Rephr 3 for this because I want it to be more precise. And I'm going to put that on the outer and the inner third. Bring that up a little bit on this side. And then taking that same Rephr 13, I'm not wiping it off or anything, it's sort of blending around that deeper shade. All right, and with a Rephr 21, going into the shade Empowered, that sparkly deep purple shade. And trying to do this with precision with a brush that's a little too large, but just going over that deeper shade just on my lid. Maybe go up a little bit from my lid, but and then on the inside too, I'm going to try to be very, very careful. Hopefully this is giving me a little bit of shimmer. I don't know. And I'm getting some fallout. I'm gonna brush that off with a Nakia Joy Cosmetics Precision Powder Brush. Now taking a clean Morphe 3 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Precious. We'll try to use as many shades as possible and take that along the entire lower lash line. And then back into Mantra, but with a smaller Rephr 23, and just using that on the outer kind of third and the inner third. Very close to the lash line. All right, let's try to get some sparkles on. So with a Morphe M213, going to go into this shade Abundance and carefully just kind of blend that into that outer deeper shimmer shade on the outside. I think we'll try to do the more purple on the outside, pink on the inside thing still. We'll see how that goes. So I'll take the shade Joy on the, I'm gonna clean that brush off a bit, and take that on the same Morphe M213, little tiny guy, and blend that into the inner portion of my lid into that darker shade. I think I'll go for, yeah, I'll do Moon Magic right here, just on my pinky. I'm gonna put that all over the center of my lid. Ooh, that's blingy. I like that. And I'm going to maybe bring that up just a little bit because of my hooded eyes so that you can actually see it when I look straight at you. It's funny how that just disappears. All right, now, ooh, it's so sparkly. You know what? I'm going to take my little Rephr 29 and take that same shade Moon Magic, which I like this one, and put that right in the center of the lower lash line. See if we can get it to show up there. Bling. Okay, cool. So for my brow bone, I'm going to try this Love Stone color on my Morphe 213 again. I'm gonna clean that off a little bit. And is that showing up? Yeah, okay, it is. It's not exactly giving me what I want, but yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Okay, that'll work. And then just to use another shade, I'm going to go into Energized. And with the same Morphe M213 brush, going to put that in my inner corner. Ooh, that is very blingy. Nice. All right, I'm going to finish up and zoom you back out. All right, everything on my face is done except for my lips, because I also picked up the Rose Quartz Silk Balm, and I am going to do this and put this on for the purpose of this video, but I already know that I don't like the way this smells, which is so unfortunate because the regular Silk Balm doesn't really have a fragrance. And so I love it and I love the way it feels, but this one definitely has, oof. Yeah, it smells like a kind of coconut sunscreen, and I don't like it at all. I will show you what it looks like, and then I will take it off and put a different lip that I actually think will go better with this look. But for the purpose of this video, so you can see what it looks like, and I'm going to gift this to my mom so she won't care that I'm using it again. I've already put it on once in my life. Anyway, but so yeah, it's pretty. I don't know that I see much color or anything. It's more just kind of a gloss. And yeah, it smells terrible to me. Yeah, it smells like fake coconut, like chemical coconut to me. This is what it looks like. It's super pretty, I mean, and it feels great, but yeah, smell, whew, that's strong for me. So that's that. Anyways, I am going to wipe that off and put something else on. All right, so I think that's better. That's actually, this is the Pat McGrath lip gloss in Lavendering. I got like a little 3-pack a couple of years ago, and I love, this is on the borderline of scent for me. It's a little strong, but it does dissipate over time, and depending on the day, sometimes I can't wear this, I think, but it is better. This I cannot wear. I don't know, there's something about certain fragrances that just make me feel nauseous, and that is one of them. This one, like I said, borderline, but also I just think it looks good with the look. Speaking of, let's talk about this palette. So again, that packaging, so pretty. And I do like it. I love this shade, the Moon Magic shade. It's upside down, but this that I did on the center of my eyelids, that's pretty spectacular. Very pretty. This Lovestone weird sticky formula, it's not for me. I don't like the way it feels. I guess with a brush it's okay, with my finger maybe it's sticky because it's better for the adherence when you put it on your eye, but I could have done without that weird formula in here. I don't know. I don't blame them for trying new things, and that's great. But I don't know. I didn't think that it really, it seems to me that adding that sort of mixing medium or whatever, like the glitter glue sort of feeling, texture, is to enhance the sort of blinginess of it. And I put it on my, brow bone, and I don't think it's even as sparkly as the lid shade that I used, which I like the texture of better. So I think that every shade that I used worked really well. This palette definitely pulled cool, I think. So it definitely worked for what I was going for. And again, I love the idea behind this palette, the self-love and you know, self-care kind of vibe. I think that's really important, and I'm glad that, you know, we're given such sort of weird, wrong ideas about beauty and what is beautiful, especially as women. And I think that in some ways, in some, you know, pockets of society, it is getting better in ways. But I definitely still think that there are some very strange beauty standards that I don't buy into. And I think that loving yourself and appreciating you for you and enhancing the things that are beautiful about you are important. And I like that that was sort of a theme with this. And yeah, I think it's a very pretty palette. I think I was a little worried about it being maybe a little boring, but I don't know. I think this is pretty spectacular, actually. The more I look at it, that shimmer shade is really impressive. I like it. One thing that I was concerned about, and actually let's do the comparisons with Mercury Retrograde. First off, I love how this is the other palette that has the iridescence on the cover. I mean, it's got a very similar vibe in that way. Looking at them side by side, I couldn't find like an all-out dupe, but let me show you side by side what these look like. And I'm gonna put the rose quartz on the bottom. So I think, to me, the Mercury Retrograde on the top actually pulls a little warmer. I think there are some more warm tones in there. And you can see there are some sort of, you know, same family kind of shades, like, it's hard to hold everything and point at the same time, but this shade and this shade are kind of the equivalent, but this one is more purple and this one is kind of more brown. And then you've got some of those similar sort of like lavender tone kind of shades in both palettes. Some of those kind of mid-tone, like that one next to it right there. And then I need more fingers and hands that you know, they're kind of similar. I don't know. I guess we could swatch the two deeper shades. So this is the rose quartz and this is the Mercury Retrograde. And actually one issue or one complaint that I had about the Mercury Retrograde palette is that this sort of deepest shade was not particularly deep, and I wondered about this palette whether it would have a deeper shade, and I think that this one does. It does read a little deeper. They do blend away. They're not particularly pigmented, so I don't know that you can get a particularly deep vampy look with this. But I don't know that that was really the purpose. You don't need to do that with every palette. However, if you do like those really deep dark shades, I don't think you're gonna get this with this palette. And then let's see, what else can we compare? So yeah, I wanna go into these like more mid-tone shades. So it would be Radiate and sort of these transition shade Precious from the Rose Quartz palette, and then from Mercury Retrograde it is Crash. This guy. Oh yeah, and actually my fingers, I didn't think there were any that were particularly similar. Here, well, So yeah, I think this is the one from Mercury Retrograde, and it's a little warmer. I think it is a bit warmer palette. Wow, that looks a lot, whoops, that looks a lot deeper swatched than it did in the pan. So yeah, I guess those are kind of similar, but again, the Mercury Retrograde shade seems to have a little bit more warmth to it, whereas the Rose Quartz was a little cooler. Honestly, I don't think there are really any more similar shades. I don't even know. I guess, okay, so this is like somewhat similar. We'll do Joy right here in the Rose Quartz, and then, yeah, this is more of a duochrome, but anyway, so Supernova, I think, is going to have more bronze to it. Again, I think it's going to be warmer. I think that the Rose Quartz was sort of the like cooler answer to the warmer Mercury Retrograde. Yeah. So this was the Rose Quartz color Joy, and then this is Mercury Retrograde. And they are not the same. The pink tones are similar, but there's that copper. So again, this is the Rose Quartz shade, and then this is the Mercury Retrograde shade. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say there really aren't any dupes. I think if you have Mercury Retrograde and you were worried that it was gonna be similar to Rose Quartz, I don't think it is. Like I said, I think that this is like the warmer version, and this is the cooler version of sort of a similar vibe, if you will. It's cooler than my original first impression when I saw it. All right, so do I like this? Yeah, totally. This is a solid palette. It works well. Cool leaning. The formula of all of the shades that I used, so for this look, I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 shades for this look, I think. Anyways, I don't know that there was really much difference between, so I used this shade on the outer portion and then this shade on the inner portion, and I don't know that I could really tell so much of a difference. I don't know. So maybe there are some sort of redundant shades. I do like that this was a little bit deeper than the Mercury Retrograde. And yeah, this was amazing. I love that shade. That was really ethereal and pretty. So yeah, I like it. Do you need it? I don't know. I feel like it's not particularly unique in any way, but then again, what is these days? I like the packaging. And I do like the color story. It's just kind of, do I have it? Yeah, maybe so. In one palette though? I don't know. And you could probably get a pretty neutral look from this too. Just using, that, maybe putting this on the lid or this rather than the, AC crystal blue. Anyway, yeah, I like it. I like it. And I'm glad that I picked it up. The lip gloss, not so much, but that's a me thing. I'm sensitive to smells. So if you are sensitive to fragrance, you might pass on that and get the regular Huda Silk Balm, unless, oh gosh, I hope that formula hasn't changed, because I really like it. It's really comfortable, and I know my mom loves it too. So anyways, thanks so much for being here. I'm curious to know what everybody thought about this palette and whether you picked it up. I love that iridescence. I am a magpie. Okay, thanks again. If you did like this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a good one.